Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today for Wednesday morning. Hey, it's September 9th, 2020. I'm the man they call Meathead, and as always, joined every Wednesday morning by Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew.
I'm the man they call Matthew Thomas.
You are the man you call Matthew Thomas. You know, I've always wanted to go by the name professionally. I mean, not that I don't here, but, get paid for it, in Hollywood somewhere. But, I mean, I know Rob Reiner would have an issue with it. So if I stuck with the man they call Meathead, I would not necessarily legally be the, Meathead. I would be somebody that they call Meathead. I could get by the censors on that one.
That's very, very well thought out.
I owe Frank Cosentino for that name.
Oh, do you?
The man they call part. That's all Frank Cos.
So he needs royalty every time you say it, I suppose.
Well, he's also going to coffee shops, putting down Frank Cosentino. Can I have a name for your order, please? And he puts on Frank Sinatra.
Oh, well, I mean, as long as he gets his order, I suppose.
I guess, his frappe with a Belgian dip, where you get the little cream around your nose there. All right, speaking about around the nose and working around delicate areas, let's talk about Manscaped.com. Matthew, again, like I told Dave yesterday morning, I'm feeling a little lighter again because, he had the old lawnmower action going on there. Not the AEW Mr. Brody Lee lawnmowers, but the Lawnmower 3.0 from Manscaped.com. If you head on over to Manscaped.com and enter in the promo code PWR, you're going to get yourself 20% off of already their sale prices, and you're going to get free shipping as well. I mean, the Lawnmower 3.0 is really where it's at. Matthew, your thoughts on the lawnmower? Not the Brody Lee one, of course.
So it sounds like Manscaped could technically help you lose weight.
They might be in the weight loss business.
I mean,
you might have something there.
So jack of all trades, but no, head on over to manscaped.com and lawnmower, Brody Lee, snappers, it's all in the same.
Ooh, I'm a big fan of snapper.
Yeah, it's all in the same category there.
Yeah. My favorite line of all time from a movie. You know how we've been playing these innuendos, right, with the Manscaped stuff, and they want us to because they sell ball powder. Let's be honest, and we love Manscaped. But my favorite line, my favorite innuendo from a movie all time. Have you ever seen I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Years upon years upon years ago.
Okay, don't remember if it was 1 or 2. I believe it was number 2. I'm in the theater. It's literally I'm just hanging out with a buddy. And we're social distancing at a theater has been something guys have been doing since the beginning of time because no guy sits next to another guy in an empty theater. There's always a seat between them.
Speak for yourself.
But anyway, Jennifer Love Hewitt's in the kitchen with her grandmother. She goes, "What's wrong, honey? Is there something wrong with your snapper?" I lost it. I mean, not on the influence of anything but, salt and butter and, popcorn and, raspberry iced tea and, pretzel bites with cheese. Dude, there might have been 4 other people in the theater. I freaking lost it. Like, she said snapper.
So she was in the lawn care business as well, right?
No, she was talking about they were up in the Northeast, off the Atlantic coast. They were probably having fish. Snapper.
Yep. True.
But to see, like Cloris Leachman go to, I don't know if it was Cloris Leachman, but go to Jennifer Love Hewitt. Honey, is there something wrong with your snapper?
Inquisitive minds want to know.
In the most deadpan voice, I friggin' lost it. So, enough with the childish, D and F jokes. Let's talk a little wrestling, huh? What do you think? How was Super Tuesday 2 last night for you?
It was. It lived up to the hype. A little bit surprised as far as the match placement, but I think that it worked.
It worked. Yeah, absolutely. What you're talking about and what Matthew is talking about, folks, is that what we assumed to be the main event, their quintessential belt on NXT, was the opening match. For the NXT Heavyweight Championship, again, don't listen to Hero. I'm kind of on the side of Damien on this one. Don't listen to Hero about the size of these guys. It is the Heavyweight Championship. It doesn't matter that they all qualify also to be in 205 Live. Finn Balor, Adam Cole. We had the 4-way last week, which was, we had been saying over and over, and I think it was even part of their promotional gear. It was the Mount Rushmore of NXT champions. You had Gargano, you had Tomasa, you had Finn, you had Adam Cole. Well, excuse me, we had a tie. We had a draw in the 60-minute Iron Man match. 2 pinfalls apiece. Adam Cole getting that last-second pinfall on Finn Balor after he scored his pinfall to make it 2-2. Commissioner William Regal says, you know what, let's do it again, Super Tuesday 2. And we had it. We had it last night. A very brutal match. These guys were striking hard. The 1916 from the top rope. I've never seen him do it like that. It looked devastating. Your winner and new NXT heavyweight champion of the world, the Demon, Finn Balor. Excuse me, the Prince, because the Demon hasn't been seen in a while. Matthew, your thoughts on the match?
They told a great story. Balor was off, dominated the first part of the match, but also notable, apparently, according to the commentators, the first coup de grace kick out by Adam Cole tonight. So a couple of firsts in this match, but great back and forth for almost 30 minutes. Really great psychology. I mean, here you've got 2 athletic high flyers, but for the most part, it was a mat-based match, with just a few really well-placed spots. Not a lot of standing around, not a lot of, telegraphing the next spot. Really good in-ring psychology here. And these 2 guys really delivered. The first thing that I thought when this went on first, and after seeing that 60-minute Iron Man last week, I'm like, is this going to be a 2-hour match? Are they setting us up for Shawn Michaels, John Cena, England 2006, I believe it was, where, we're going to have to cancel the rest of the matches? Is that what we're getting by having this NXT title match going on first? It was not. It was a solid 30 and a solid match, but overall, really good match, and glad to see Finn Balor with that title. His NXT reign. This is interesting because we've had guys go back down to NXT before, but not necessarily go back. Well, I say that the week after Fandango and Tyler Breeze won the tag team titles, but in a prominent role as far as back into major title contention. This is really the first example. So I'm very curious as to what they do here with Balor in his second act in NXT.
And Finn Balor, again, we talk about the Universal Championship. When he won that against, I think it was Kevin Owens, right?
Rollins, wasn't it?
It might have been Rollins, yeah.
I think it was Rollins.
But when he won that for the first time, when he was the first ever Universal Champion, he was set to run with that thing for a while. And, he tore I think it was his tricep or his bicep in the match. And, it's funny. I didn't think too much about what those are. Ray is dealing with a torn tricep right now. I watch a show called Tacoma FD, and there's a dude on there that, is swole. He's just huge. He's not swole from, AEW, but this dude, his name's Ike Crystal on the show. Gabe Hogan, a Canadian actor, big hockey fan, but this dude's just jacked. He said for the last 4 episodes of the Tacoma FD, he was working with a torn bicep where the bicep literally was ripped from the bone. So to go back and watch those, he goes, if you ever look, my hand's in my pocket because I'm literally in excruciating pain the whole time. So I never thought anything of it, but, now that I have a little bit more idea of what's going on with these particular injuries, they're pretty gnarly. So glad to see everybody's back healthy, and Finn Balor looks back and healthy as well. So there is a good run. Dave Hero did make a great point yesterday about you keep the belt now on Finn Balor. And by the time Karrion Kross comes back, can you see Karrion Kross and the Demon maybe going at Royal Rumble's takeover?
No, that's a match I want to see, and that's very solid booking. You've got somebody established in Balor and somebody that's not going to hurt when they relinquish it. He's got a spot,
quote unquote, never lost his belt.
Yeah, you've got a spot waiting for him on the main roster. So I don't think it's not a time to take a chance with somebody at this point, because you don't want to do kind of a start stop, kind of keep the belt warm type of deal for Kross. But I think Balor is the story that I'm interested in seeing, and just thinking about the possibility of matches in between now and then, I think it's definitely the right call.
Okay, so that was our opening match. Now, you had mentioned the hour, where they're going to go Cena Michaels and cancel all the other matches. That had me kind of thinking too. You said it was a solid 30. I clocked it at about 40-ish, maybe 41. And if you add in the hour from last week, that's almost 2 hours of them trying to decide who's going to win a belt. So I was absolutely pleased the way the whole thing went down. And again, really the backstage stuff. Did you expect that out of Adam Cole?
No. Adam Cole's been in this interesting spot because he's technically been working as a heel, but he had the whole thing with McAfee, and he's kind of a face in that. So it's Cole is in an interesting spot. No, I did not expect it, and I'm curious week to week as far as the direction of Cole. I mean, I can't help but think he's not main roster. I can't help but not think he's main roster bound in the somewhat near future, but I don't know.
Well, we had Ridley show up on SmackDown. Now we have Keith Lee on Raw. I think that Adam Cole could be SmackDown bound.
Yeah.
You never know.
And honestly, I mean, Keith Lee's involvement in the main roster the last couple of weeks has been one of the things that I've been tuning in for. I think now
he's fixed his wardrobe. He only wore that skirt thing the first time. He's been in bicycle shorts since.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think with these people who have had the tenure in NXT, I mean, Keith Lee's not as long as Cole's, but I mean, you've got investment there. You've got investment of the different matchups that they can have. And I think now's the time, and you've really got to, now more than ever, you've really got to pay attention to variety. And I think that, that's
you got to order Verizon. Is that what you said? They don't pay us for a spot here.
I actually recently, after close to 20 years, left the Verizon network. I was Verizon when Verizon was Alltel, but I
was with Verizon when Verizon was Primeco.
Very good timing, because I just I got through settling up with Verizon today. I finally cut Verizon ties.
Yeah, I mean,
I would tell you who my new cell phone carrier is, but since they do not sponsor this program, I shall keep my mouth shut.
Correct. Speaking of sponsoring Matthew Thomas, hey, Matthew, I heard like last Sunday it was 101 degrees in your city. What was the temperature today, and what do you got going on for weather?
32-ish right about now.
How many inches of snow?
And 2 to 3 apparently.
2 to 3 what inches?
2 to 3 inches. 2 to 3
inches. Yeah,
that's
what she said.
Yeah, that's I'm used to working with 2 to 3 inches. So.
Wow. I this didn't work out as well as it did beforehand, and I was trying to set you up to deliver your line again, but you just
got to go with the flow and stuff, man. You can't just jam it in there.
Yeah. Robert Stone in the back, he found the tank. He found Shotzi's tank, right? But Shotzi saw him trying to take care of the tank, and this all gets into a thing with Aaliyah and Io Shirai. They all go out to the ring. Io Shirai and Shotzi may be having a little bit of a program for the women's NXT Championship. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I want to see it. I think that is a very interesting matchup, and we got a little preview of that tonight. So, and I mean, we've made the comment multiple times, but Robert Stone, what an absolute gem he is when he's on the screen.
Velveteen Dream taking on the Adonis, Ashante. I got nothing for this match. Velveteen Dream is going to get a push again, but it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at with that.
No, same here. And it's probably a good thing for the product that they're not in front of a live audience at this point.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Bronson Reed and Austin Theory, really a barn burner, to be honest with you. And we'll get back to the Tegan Knox and Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano stuff in a bit. But Bronson Reed and Austin Theory in a barn burner, that was more match than I thought I was getting with those two. But Bronson Reed, not Weed. Bronson Reed, your winner. Austin Theory really making a name for himself out there.
No, they worked really well together. I mean, definitely a size differential here. But these two matched up really great. And this, to me, was the surprise match of the night. Did not necessarily know what to expect, but these guys delivered in the middle of the card tonight.
Okay, before we get to the main event, let us talk about the Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano, and Tegan Knox. So they invite Tegan Knox over for dinner, right? Over at the Garganos, because Johnny and Candice obviously married the Gargano way. It looks like they're dressed for a nice casual dinner date. And Tegan Knox comes to the door like she's just got back from working out at Curves, or she's in pre-match preparations. Dude, come on.
I was gonna say painting a fence.
Right. She's out there painting fences. This is This is a slip. Honestly, on the agent.
Is she painting the fence while the Dark Order is mowing the grass?
Apparently, and they're snappers. I don't know, man. That just bothered me the whole time. I'm looking at her in a t-shirt. I mean, while you're having a nice dinner, I'm surprised she didn't have a baseball cap on at the table with her elbows on it.
Yeah, here's the thing though. Johnny Gargano did have the plain white t-shirt on, so he definitely didn't get dolled up.
That was a dress white t-shirt. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Hey, did you catch? And this apparently. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was the same quote unquote home that was used at In Your House when Gargano.
Oh yeah, he's got a picture right outside the front door.
Yeah, yeah, the old Doc Hendricks picture.
Doc Hendricks.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
I need to get one of those.
One of those Doc Hendricks framed pictures.
I think everybody does.
I don't want it autographed. I just want the picture.
No, just the picture.
Because that glorious mustache is amazing.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. I caught it. You know damn well I caught that. I'm like, yo, hey, is that Doc Hendricks up there? Oh, the little things. But like I said, the little things can also be bigger things. She should have been dressed differently. Just differently. Not better, not worse, just differently. Come on, man. One more match before the main. It was Roderick Strong and Killian Dane. I didn't think we were going to get this kind of solid performance out of Roderick Strong.
Yeah, no, it was a good match. And, still kind of interested as to where he and Bobby Fish are in relation to the whole Adam Cole thing. Adam Cole, like I said, little bit face-ish tonight. So it'll be interesting going forward to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, there's more to come on that one. Let's talk this steel cage match. Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley. I will stand by my word. I said with Hero yesterday, I may have said it on the program before, but I will stand by my word. Rhea Ripley will go on to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and she will go on to WrestleMania and face Charlotte. I can smell it in the water. Rhea Ripley this is the beginning, folks. Put a pin in this date because here's where it starts.
I hope so. I mean, that's what I want to see at the Rumble into WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley is money, and she's got a very unique look. I think she will excel on the main roster. I mean, she did earlier this year, for all accounts. So I think now is the move in that direction. Make her strong, keep her strong, and start building her for the Rumble and Mania, because she is an ascending star, no question about it.
I'd say we're 6 months out, roughly. What are we in, month 9? So 6, that's 15 minus 12. Okay. It's about end of March. Charlotte should be ready. Rhea should be just ascending the whole time. Yeah. And, when Charlotte does come back, have her grab a belt somewhere. Grab the Raw, grab the SmackDown, grab the NXT. It doesn't matter. I really don't think she should grab the NXT one again. I think she should grab the Raw or SmackDown one and have Rhea ascend to that belt. And that be her way to join the main roster.
And I think you have Rhea in high-profile non-title matches on NXT until then. Because you don't want to have to worry about what to do with the belt once she wins the Rumble.
She does not have to have the NXT belt.
No, she does not. She is enough of a feature on her own at this point. It is not needed.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but when they get to Survivor Series, she should be one of the people for NXT brand, for War Games, for things like that. Put her in the profile matches. You're right.
Yeah, no, she's been there, done that. Let that title be there to make other people. The Rhea Ripley brand has been established, so keep her in a strong spot. And we were debating the placement of the match. I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe they wanted to put that match on tonight as a punctuation mark, even though there's no title involved. They wanted to make sure that the viewer understood how important Rhea Ripley in a main spot is. And I think we got the start of that tonight.
So let's talk commentary. Matthew, I got some bad news for you. You have not been paying attention to the product, and Wade Barrett's been on for a few weeks, buddy.
Barrett, welcome back. Welcome back. Although this does kind of throw a little wrench in my my NWA prediction. Theory? Yeah, my NWA theory that Barrett was going to lead the stable of invaders. Apparently, maybe that still happens. I don't know. But no, welcome back, Barrett. My goodness, this guy is solid on commentary.
Absolutely solid. So here's the thing. I like Mauro Ranallo. Okay, I really like the way he called matches. I had said this to Damien a few weeks ago, be it a month ago. I don't remember when I said it, but I said, this guy could do a Joey Styles type pay-per-view and just call the damn thing himself.
Yeah.
I think it would help him because he can just keep going. Plus, let's be honest, I don't like his style with color commentators.
Yeah. It's hard for anybody. It's hard for people to find their lane around him. And it's just, that is his style. That is his style. And it's hard to try to fit somebody on color, much less a 3-man booth in there. And
NXT is a 4-person booth sometimes.
I agree 100%.
We've got Vic Joseph back in the mix calling, the lead play-by-play now for NXT. You got Wade Barrett. Nigel McGuinness is on his way back as well. Or should we call him Desmond Wolfe? No, it's Nigel McGuinness. But Nigel McGuinness is on his way back as well. And you got Beth Phoenix out there. So it seems that the color commentators also have a pecking order as well. And sometimes they just have to try to get their stuff in, which is what I kind of heard from Raw. Dave and I didn't talk about it yesterday morning, but I heard from Raw Monday night. Byron Saxton was a ghost in some of those matches. He was an absolute ghost. Yeah. Joe has gotten super solid as a color commentator as well.
Joe's wonderful. I just want to put something out there. Just imagine this. Close your eyes for a second. Unless you're doing the show from a motor vehicle that you're operating, then don't close your eyes. But JR, Tony Schiavone, Jericho, and Morrow, huh?
That's way too much. Way too much.
Wow. Could you imagine?
I don't want to because I wouldn't even be able to see the match. Because again, Jericho's great too. I think Jericho's a great talker.
Yeah. Yep.
But we got Excalibur back last week as well, and holy smokes, dude, that'd be too much. It's nice to hear Damien. It's 21 years, 22 years later. It's nice to hear Damien go, was Tony Schiavone always this good? Yes, he was, Damien. You just had blind hate because you didn't like WCW.
I think there's a lot of renewed appreciation for Schiavone now.
Yeah, it's weird where it came from. Because, Schiavone did show up in TNA when they were doing their weekly Wednesday pay-per-views, and nobody cared.
Yep.
They just had some anti-WCW feelings toward him, and he faded off and did his other work. Worked with the Braves for so long, and he's back.
And if you want to take a stroll down memory lane, there was that 1 year or so stint that Schiavone had in WWF. I believe it was 1990.
That was around the time that JR came in. So it's not like JR and Schiavone didn't work together, because they did. Schiavone was around because he had that big bushy mustache at that time.
Yeah, Schiavone would have been around during JR's.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now, he would have been around during his WCW run, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Both. No, Schiavone was also around in JR's days as well, in the WWF. JR debuted, I believe it was WrestleMania, what was it, 8 in Vegas during the daytime?
It was 9 at Caesar's Palace.
9 at Caesar Palace. Schiavone was still in the building at that time.
So but they are hitting all kinds of strides now. That's a really solid team.
Yeah. So that's NXT. Happy to see that they have a champion, and a champion that's going to hang on to that belt for a while. We talked about WCW, and Matthew and I had a little text message conversation yesterday. I did not know. I think the wrestling world didn't know. It was about a year ago. I think Jericho said it was last year. Yeah,
and it sounded like it was. I think, was it news to Jericho as well too? It sounded like he had only
he wasn't aware
found out.
It just came up, and he's kind of dropping the news on us a year later. Ralphus passed away. I audibly said, "Oh no!" out loud at about midnight last night.
Yeah.
When I was reading this news, because we had just talked about Ralphus a couple of weeks ago. Now I was wrong in assuming that Ralphus made it over to WWF. It was Fink who played the Ralphus role when Jericho showed up in WWF.
Yeah, but that just shows you what a character that was. They had to have some type of, some various incarnation of it in WWF.
And, folks, for those that don't know or haven't read the article yet, because the internet is what it is, Ralphus was not trying to be in the wrestling business. Yeah. He literally was the ring truck driver. He drove the ring from town to town. That was his job. And they brought him in, made him a personality. He got over so huge when they pulled him away from Jericho. He ended up with Norman Smiley for a while. I think it was Norman Smiley.
Oh, my goodness. What a fun time of wrestling.
He was, I think he was the head of JPS. Am I not mistaken?
I think
Jericho
you're
Personal Security.
Yep. I believe you're correct. Oh my goodness. In Ralphus, he would have been featured prominently, I believe, during the Goldberg feud,
yeah, and
right?
that's really where it came from, because he was JPS, because it was mocking Goldberg's security as they came to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you,
goodness.
I loved it. I loved it, and he's underappreciated. Sorry to hear that he passed, because, if he'd be around today, I'm sure Jericho would have found a way to get him in. We could have brought him in for a spot. I mean, because he always had those summer teeth. You know what I mean? Summer teeth, summer not.
Oh yeah, and you got to think that the powers that be at AEW would be more than happy to to have a throwback. I mean, we've seen Virgil in AEW before. I mean, they seem to have a great appreciation for that nostalgia, and AEW does comedy so very well.
Amazing stuff. Let's talk about this before we go. I know we got AEW tonight, and we've got the defending and reigning champion Jon Moxley. They're going to talk about Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy apparently is going to address everyone tonight on Dynamite. Conflicting reports. Tony Khan says no concussion. Reba Hardy says 1,000% that he had a concussion. If you saw the spot, I cannot believe that he did not have a concussion.
Yeah. And call it what you will. I mean, this guy is knocked unconscious during the match, and it wasn't an Undertaker WrestleMania 30 out on his feet type of deal. This guy, comes off, head hits. He is fully unconscious right there. I mean, that's concussion or not. This is a guy who is knocked slam out.
Matt Hardy had just been released out of the hospital. I believe it was today. It might have been late yesterday. But Matt Hardy is apparently going to be on Dynamite. It's wrestling. Matt, don't risk your life. You got beautiful children, a beautiful wife. You've got a family. I'm not trying to make fun of it, but I can hear Jerry yell, "My God, that man's got a family."
Yeah. Yeah. But, and it's just, man. Yeah. It's especially now with everything going on,
especially with Chris Nowinski. I mean, Chris Hartford coming around just talking to AEW about CTE. I mean, we know so much more about head trauma. I mean, we just watched the Benoit episode of The Dark Side of the Ring.
Well, and here's the thing too, Meathead. It is basically, the idea after that is to go ahead with the big spot that presumably was supposed to finish the match. Yeah, Hardy wasn't the one taking it, but I mean, you're going up in the air again. You are going up, 15, 20 feet, however high up they were, for Guevara to go off and go in the crash pad. Like, somebody who has just been knocked unconscious. Just think about this in normal person terms. You've been knocked unconscious. You're going to go, climb a ladder and get on your roof now.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well, we hope that Matt Hardy's all right. We're going to hear from him. It just didn't seem right. I mean, I thought they were doing the right thing, folks. Sometimes things happen in real life, and we just had to stop the match. That's the way it should have been right there. Commentator team. I mean, I said this with Linda, but JR was there when Owen fell.
Yeah.
We don't need that again. We don't need to be that moment that you were there calling that match. Yeah. Be responsible.
And here's the thing. I get it. AEW wants to push the envelope. They want to do things that WWE's not going to do. There's a good amount of blood there. They are definitely going out of their way to be edgy. But, you got the Hardy spots. You've also something that I haven't heard any reports on, but, the body bag spot the other night.
We talked Darby a little. Allen. Linda and I talked Monday morning on that.
Yeah, I don't know if there was an injury or anything there, but that was, they cut pretty quick. They got him off the stage. There wasn't the big reveal of coming out of the body bag, with the thumbtacks. And you got to look at a spot like that, and that's not Shane O'Mac off the Titantron. Like, I got to look at something like that and wonder, where is the payoff? It's just a very dangerous.
It's a dangerous spot for just the sake of being dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully he's all right. I mean, I get it. He's a different type of cat. I mean, you had the spot of him jumping off a bridge for a 3-second clip the other day. So some of that stuff is most likely him pushing for it, but you gotta pull back on the reins sometimes.
Yeah.
And man, it just seemed like Saturday night more so than in a long time. We had a lot of those sequential AEW spots that are concerning.
Absolutely. So, Matthew, that is the end of the road for us today, Wednesday morning. We can't wait to talk on Friday again. We'll talk about everything that's happened with Dynamite. We talk about the upcoming SmackDown. And, Matthew, I don't know if you saw the PWR draft stuff. I scored 15 points in 2 weeks. Dave Hero is literally Joe Biden breathing on my neck right now. It's uncomfortable.
I mean, is that the first ever comparison we've had of David Hero to Joe Biden?
I think it's going to be the last because I might get a cease and desist on that one too. All right. So for Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call me today. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. So long.